Hello everyone and welcome to the Maidstone United versus Bromley Preview. Of course, Maidstone are going to be on the road for this one, which means another away day after the at-home draw to Maidstone during the midweek fixture on Tuesday night. Hopefully the weather is going to be a little bit better for this one, so let's take a little look ahead towards our opposition for this weekend's match. So currently Bromley sit 10th in the National League on a total of 13 points, and in their 8 games this season they have won 4, drawn 1 and lost 3 matches. In their last 5 games coming into this match against Maidstone, they have managed to accrue 9 out of their last available 15 points, which means 3 wins, 0 draws and 2 losses. The most recent being a loss to York City on the road, where they did concede a 95th minute goal. Of course, very miserable ending to the game for them. So hopefully we can capitalise on the fact that they may be a little bit down about a very close fixture versus York. Take a little look at this game as well. It does appear that there may be an opportunity for Maidstone to do pretty well in this game. Of course, looking at the month of September, there are some very difficult games in this month for us, the first of which being Gateshead on the road, where we did of course lose 4-1. Maidstone, a lot of people were quite concerned about, managed to come out of that with a point, which of course is very good. The Solihull game was also cancelled last weekend. But coming into the Bromley game is where I think a lot of people would have expected Maidstone to be able to pick up a point or 3 in this fixture, which means hopefully coming into this game off the back of a somewhat decent performance in many aspects against Maidstone, very much defensively, besides that last second switch off at the end. Maidstone should be able to take advantage of some weaknesses in this Bromley side, and for me the most prevalent weakness is in the goalkeeping department. Charles Cook in goal, unfortunately from a Bromley perspective, has made a few blunders in recent games from at least what I've seen in their highlight footage. For me, he's made 4 errors really, leading to a goal in their last 3 games, maybe even 5, depends how you want to pin it on him, but he did, for me, have at least some fault in both of the goals conceded to York. Not very good from clearing corners. It does seem that he doesn't appear to deal with them very well when they're placed on him. Some weak punches, a few mistimed cues in and around the box as well. We also saw a goal against Eastleigh that he did concede to Abrahams, where he rushes out off his line, cleans out the man and he scores anyway. And for me as well, they did lose when they lost 4-1 to Dagenham. A couple of the goals there he was at fault for as well, in my opinion. So it does appear that at least in recent fixtures, their goalkeeper may be a bit of an area of weakness. However, in 8 games this season, they have managed to keep 4 clean sheets. So, you know, maybe a tale of 2 sides. But at least in recent weeks, their goalkeeper has been making a few suspect decisions during games, which hopefully we can take advantage of with quite a quick paced attack up front. Also looking at their goals scored this season, they've only scored 1 goal in the first half an hour of games this season. They've scored 2 goals in the last half an hour of games this season, and they've actually managed to score 6 in that middle half an hour of the game, the last 15 minutes of the first half, the first 15 minutes of the second half. They've got 9 goals this season, so of course that's a very large percentage. 2/3 of all their goals have come in that middle block of fixtures, which of course is something to be very wary of. They clearly build into games going towards the end of the first half, and they also managed to start quite strong in the second half. So again, something we do need to be wary of. Something which at times, this season at least, Maidstone have been quite good at. We saw, of course, the very strong start to the second half against Aldershot, where we scored 3 goals in 6 minutes. So hopefully we can come out of the gates firing, do really well in the first half, and then just nullify their threat at the start of the second half and see out the game quite well. So again, looking as well, something I found quite interesting at the fixtures that Bromley have actually played this season. Unlike a lot of our current opposition that we faced, they have played a significant amount of the same opposition that we have. Out of the 8 games so far, we share 5 opposition, and those are York, Altrincham, Aldershot, Maidstone and Torquay. So 5 opposition who have not at the moment excelled in the National League. Of course, Maidstone doing pretty well. York not doing too shabby themselves either. But in these 5 shared opposition games, Bromley have only managed to accrue 7 points, where Maidstone have actually picked up 11. So, in the grand scheme of things, looking at it as a, comparative thing, Maidstone have actually performed better against the same teams. Bromley, however, have picked up a couple points in some other games as well. I think they did beat Scunthorpe and a couple of other teams as well. They managed to pick up points against, so that seems to be where the difference is. But in terms of the opposition that we've both faced and where we can draw the comparisons, Maidstone seem to come out on top for this one. So again, going into this Bromley game is going to be a very difficult one. So far this season, every win that they've got, which of course is 4 so far, they've only won by 1 goal. So they're not exactly a very high scoring team. As I said earlier, they've scored 9 and they've conceded 10 this season. So almost half the amount of goals that we've conceded this year, but they are yet to face, of course, some of the massive opposition, and they did concede 4 goals to Dagenham and Redbridge, and they did concede 3 goals as well to Wealdstone, who, of course, we haven't played Dagenham, but we did only concede the 1 to Wealdstone. So hopefully, again, that does bode quite well for us. They may be defensively vulnerable, as I mentioned, with the goalkeeper, and some of their set-piece organisation has not been fantastic in recent weeks. So hopefully we can take advantage of that. And for me, something we just really need to do in this game is get the shots off. Against Aldershot in the first half, we barely managed to get a shot off. Same really against Torquay. We did, of course, get the winners in the second half in those games. But if you were at the game recently against Wealdstone at home, we really, I think, only had 2 shots on target. Deacon up the town end, and then, of course, the goal that we managed to score through Sam Corn at the town end as well. And those are the only 2 shots I can remember being on target in that game. So for me, we really do need to take advantage of this keeper's poor run of form, in my opinion. Get the shots off. Doesn't matter if you test him from the edge of the box. Doesn't matter if you just lump a ball in and get a couple of runners in there to just try and get a touch off. Anything directed to goal, of course, has the potential to go in. And when a keeper's making as many mistakes as Charles Cook seemingly is at the moment, that is something for me we need to take advantage of. Now, of course, in recent weeks, the Stones have misfired a little bit, not been too fruitful in creating chances or going forward. For me, flooding the box is probably our best option. Potentially, we may see Jack Barham dropped in this game. I don't think we will, although I wouldn't necessarily be against it. Maybe just giving him a little bit of a breather, having something more dynamic up front in terms of maybe James Alabi or Josh Fawole, someone just to switch things up just a little bit, and then maybe Jack could come on, spring an attack in the second half and pick himself up a goal. But for me, Bromley are quite a defensively sound team, as we've seen. 4 clean sheets this season, that's pretty impressive, something that Maidstone fans can only dream of at this stage. So it is going to be a bit of a headache in terms of the lineup for Hakan. Of course, with some of the defensive players missing out last week as well, in Cooley and Alol, we're going to see them reintroduced. So, well, most likely reintroduced. So again, like I say, few defensive headaches. Hopefully we see Ryan Galvin come back into the squad. I thought he was fantastic against Wealdstone. I'm sure he'll be able to perform again against Bromley. But as I say, it's going to be a very tight-knit game. I do think it is going to be a 1-1 draw. Bromley don't really concede too many, don't really score too many. Maidstone don't really score too many, seem to concede quite a few. But, recent games, we've not been too terrible at defending. Thought we was pretty good against Wealdstone. So hopefully things can stay shored up at the back with the addition of Galvin, and we can get a point or 3 out of this one. So my final prediction is going to be 1-1. Leave your comments down below as what your prediction is going to be for this Bromley game. Really hopeful that we can get something out of it. So I'll catch you all in the next one. Thank you all very much for watching. I'll see you later.